Hello everyone, my name is Z, and welcome to my very late and overdue Duos guide to Cayo Perico, arriving in perfect time for a new DLC coming out just to make this nice and irrelevant as quick as possible. I really shouldn't have waited so long to do this, but here we are. Just before we get started, consider throwing the video a like and subscribing if you find this information helpful. These videos take a lot of time to make, and subscribing to the channel helps a lot. You can always unsubscribe later if you lose interest. I also encourage you to check out my other videos on my channel. Any constructive criticism you can give me on tutorials like this and my other videos is more than encouraged. Now with the formalities out of the way, let's get on with it. Buckle up, get some snacks, this is going to be a long one. Just a quick note, I have tried this method with a third person, but it's kind of awkward and they really just jump in at weird spots, so if you have a third or fourth person on your heist, I wouldn't really recommend this unless you're okay with one or two people effectively leeching. First things first, why on earth would you want to Duo Cayo Perico when so many other people have said that it's the least profitable method to do? I have a very simple answer for you. The way GhillieMaster and other people have explained duoing this heist is by two players completing all the setups together, splitting the take 50-50, and then starting over again. I have found a different, more profitable way to do this. This will still be fully stealth, unless you mess up the escape, in which case just send it Florida style. In order for you to do this method the way that I'm going to explain it, both you and your partner will need at least the Kosatka and the ability to buy a heist. Any extra optional feature like using the Reader or a Sparrow will help you complete the setups faster. An upgrade like the guided missiles will really help during the weapons setup, that'll be explained later. Both you and your partner will have the heist spot. You will each work through the setups at the same pace on your own, meeting together for the finales, and completing them both with two players. But Z, what's the point of duoing the finale when you could just solo? Very simple. Gold, my dear, gold! Having multiple players in the finale will allow you access to the loot rooms on the compound to get gold, paintings, and cash. Ignore the cash, not fucking worth it. Keep in mind paintings can also spawn inside El Rubio's office, but you know that already. This will therefore completely bypass the need to access the island from anywhere other than the drainage tunnel directly into the compound, because you won't need to go after the stash houses outside of the compound. The guards are all scripted, and there's absolutely no variation to their patterns. You will barely need to learn anything at all. When scouting the island with this method, you won't need to scout all the different stash houses on the island. You will only need to get up to the comm tower at the top to access the cameras within the compound. When you land on the island, grab this motorcycle. One thing to note, if you get caught on your way to the comm tower, there is a backup motorcycle that spawns next to the solar panels by the airport that you can take. This is the path that I take, and most times, as long as you run straight to the motorcycle and take this route without crashing, you don't have to slow down at all until the jump. I always slow down just to look at my map and make sure the guard isn't looking in that direction, because GTA is unpredictable. If the guard on the tower over the checkpoint is looking towards where you need to jump, just back up and wait until he turns and then take the jump. Keep in mind that the jump won't always be this sketchy that's shown in the video. This was unusual for me. Now all you have to do is wait for any trucks or guard to walk away, just hide behind this hill, and then drive up the road and the hill up to the comm tower. Once you're in the cameras, The primary loot doesn't really matter. Of course, the bigger the loot the better and the more money you get, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make or break. The loot that actually matters is in the storage rooms. The value of the loot are respective in their order, cash being worth the least for the space it takes, and gold worth the most. Hey, just a quick editor's note, the way that you'll be able to tell the tier of loot is by looking at the bottom of this graph, and it shows you how much money you'll get in total if you were to fill your bag completely, and that's how I get cash is worth the least and gold is worth the most. The absolutely ideal loot that you want in these rooms is 3 sets of gold. Gold takes up 2/3 of your bag, so having 3 of these will add up to 6/3, which will be rounded up to 2 loot bags in total. Now you won't always get 3 gold. There's a chance you can get more than 3 gold, but you won't always get 3 gold. You can get less than that. There's been times where I've only gotten a few stacks of cash with no gold or paintings. Because of this, the next best option is 2 gold with 1 painting. Paintings take up exactly half of your bag, so one player would fill up on gold, the other would grab paintings and fill the rest of their bag with gold, leaving a little bit of gold behind. The worst option is having 1 gold with 2 paintings. This will leave one person with 1/3 of their bag empty. You have to resort to grabbing a stack and a half cash, which just isn't worth the space or the time. If you have anything less than 2 gold and 1 painting, I advise resetting your heist, especially if you also have a lower tier primary target. So, you've scouted Cayo Perico, you have some ideal loot, and now you need to do setups. There are a lot of tricks for even the smallest detail in these, so this part will be decently extensive. You can do these in an invite-only lobby with just you and your friend, no drama, no oppressors, no bullshit. You each form into your own organizations and you set off. The first thing you see is a list. It lists approach vehicles, equipment, weapon loadout, and disruption. Completely ignore disruption. We won't need it. I can guarantee that you know how to do the setups. That, and they're easy enough to where you don't really need any help or explaining. The game will help you out. So I'll only explain the setups where I found some tricks and shortcuts to help make them just a little bit easier. The first setup you want to do is in your approach vehicles, and for this, we go with a Kosatka for your approach vehicle. Once you choose this option, you'll be prompted to go to the Merryweather test site. For this, you'll go to the driving station in your Kosatka, and you will fast travel close by for $2,000. Once you've arrived in your Kosatka, start driving it, and head over towards the test site. As you get close, you'll see a buzzard with some boats. Use your Kosatka's missiles, lock on and destroy all of them. So here's where the trick comes in. Take your Kosatka and you park it directly over the test site where the Merryweather submarine is. It doesn't have to be exact, just make sure it's over the top of the sub. Once you have it parked, get out of the Kosatka, don't bring any vehicles, and swim down to the Merryweather submarine. There are 3 locations for the sonar jammer, one in the engine room in the back, the torpedo room in the front, and in the bridge in the top center of the sub. Check the engine room first. It's the closest to your entry, and I've found the jammer in there most, hands down. Once you have the jammer, exit the submarine. This is where the trick comes in. Normally, when you come outside, 4 aimbot helicopters and a couple boats would spawn in above you, but because your Kosatka is there, it denies all of them from spawning, so all you have to do is swim up from your Kosatka and get in. Even in this clip, you can hear Pavel talking about the concerned helicopter pilots that never show up. Voila! Now here we get into the actual setups. Ignore the demolition charges. Unless you're going loud, you don't need them. For your next setup, this will depend on your loot. If you got loot in the display case, you'll get the plasma cutter. And if you got the bearer bonds, you will need to get the safe codes. Let's cover the plasma cutter first. Once picking the setup, you'll be prompted to go to the safe house. Go there. There's no enemies inside. All you have to do is take an image of their planning board and send it to Pavel. Once you send it, head out as quick as you can, just to save a little bit of time. Pavel will then tell you where they are. Go there. Really simple. Once you get there, kill them, get the plasma cutter, fly out. I emphasize flying out because their cars are extremely annoying, and if you can outrange them, you don't have to deal with them. Bring it back to your submarine. Now for the safe codes. Pavel will send you to the Diamond Casino to find El Rubio's head of security partying. Leave your car or helicopter outside of the garage entrance out the side. That's where you're going to spawn when you leave. First step, get inside. Head to the penthouse floors. Whether that's heading to the elevator or stealing the keycard out of Tom Connor's car, that's up to you. I don't have any footage of this because both of my characters have a penthouse. Once you're up at the penthouse floor, find a door guarded by 2 security guards. Don't go near them, take out a sniper and collat headshot them. This will guaranteed give you stealth to find the head of security. Once inside, there are a few locations you can find him. There's a whole bunch of them all over the place. Just check each side room and each back room, and you'll find him eventually. I recommend using a stone hatchet. Killing somebody nearby will then give you invincibility, similar to Trevor's power in single player, and you can then use that to bypass his extremely high damaging shotgun and kill him with ease. If you don't have the stone hatchet, kill him, kill everybody. Don't forget to search his body. Leave the penthouse after that. Once you leave the penthouse, you'll have to kill more security outside waiting for you. Kill them, head down the elevator, and leave. This is where you'll spawn outside the garage. As soon as you can, get in your vehicle and escape the cops. You don't need to return to your submarine after this. You just have to escape the police. For the second last setup, you'll have to get the Fingerprint Cloner. The only trick that I have found with dealing with the only enemies in the setup is by shooting an RPG in a very particular way in the back corner of the room, like so. But it's quite tricky to get down. My previous videos have shown me struggling quite a bit with this. Hi again. Quick editor's note. I can't show what I'm about to explain because I can't gather footage of it currently, but I know what I've done incorrectly here. Basically what I'm supposed to do, and what you're supposed to do, is stand to the left behind those boxes just where my RPG is pointing there. You then shoot at the wall above the laptop while you move over to the right so that by the time the bikes explode, you're further enough away so that you're not caught in the explosion. It always works to where it ends up killing everybody effortlessly. I'm just shit at doing it. After you kill those guards, hack the laptop, get to the second location, shoot out both the cameras, go inside, get the cloner, and go to your sub. For the cutting torch, take a helicopter. The only reason I'm recommending this is that there's a chance that you'll be sent to the top of the unfinished skyscraper. It's just much faster taking a helicopter up there than it is taking the elevators up, so if you have a helicopter, take it. Once you get to the construction site, look around, grab the hard hat. You don't need to kill anybody, it's super easy. Just grab the hard hat, don't bump into anybody, look through the boxes, take the cutting torch, and leave. You can take the cutting torch right in front of a guard. Just don't stay in his line of sight for too long, and you're golden. Alright, so that's all for the setups. Now all you need to do is get the weapons. Pick whatever you feel like taking. It's up to you, personal choice. Personally, I take either the Assault Rifle Mark II loadout or the Military Rifle loadout. Here's where I mentioned the guided missiles at the beginning of this video. If you get Merryweather HQ, fast travel your sub either to Los Santos Beach or close by Merryweather HQ, use a guided missile to blow up the helicopter that's parked on top of the HQ. This setup simply takes too long and it's worth it just to destroy it and try again. If you don't have the guided missiles, that's really unfortunate because you're going to have to blow up that helicopter one way or another in order to not do that setup. Once you get literally anything else other than that, take a helicopter so you can take the roof entrance to the building. If you don't have a helicopter, take the ground entrance. It's going to be a rough ride for you. So, get inside, kill everybody, hack the laptop, open the safe, get the guns. If you came from the roof, exit from the roof. If you didn't, good luck, exit to the ground floor. If you exit to the roof, you'll need some kind of weapon to take down the two helicopters that come after you. They hit really hard and you won't have time to get into your helicopter. Personally, I just use the minigun to knock out their tail rotors. They have to fall all the way down to the ground and that usually gives me enough time to get into my helicopter and dip. Get the weapons back to your sub and you're good to go. This is where you guys meet up, get together in your finale. Once you're in your finale, you'll have a bunch of options. So, first off, your approach vehicle will be your Kosatka. The infiltration point will be the drainage tunnel. The compound entry point will be automatically picked to the drainage tunnel. Your escape point doesn't really matter, you can pick it to whatever you want. I personally picked the Kosatka. Your time of day is up to personal choice. Your weapon loadout will be whatever you want it to be. Make sure you have suppressors. Buy them if you don't have them right now. Hire support crew doesn't matter, don't pick anything. Your crew cuts will be up to you. Fun fact, Al Rubio's guards don't know what dead bodies look like. They won't alert to a dead body, but they will alert to someone being shot right in front of their eyes. Keep that in mind. Here's where the interesting part comes in. Before you start, choose now on which of you will be Section A or B. Section A will be dealing with many double kills. Ultimately, the people who you each kill will end up changing on whoever feels more comfortable doing what, but Section B will deal with one double kill that isn't really a double kill, it's more of a collateral. So, for Section A, you'll need to learn how to double kill. Now Z, what is a double kill on this heist? Glad you asked. When you come up to a pair of guards talking to each other, shooting and killing one will cause the other to recoil, flinch, and then aim at you to shoot. A very human reaction. You can exploit this to effectively kill them both from range without alerting anyone. Just know, any shot hitting a surface will alert a guard, even if that guard is on the other side of a 15-foot concrete steel wall, so you cannot miss. If you do miss, chances are you've blown the heist. First thing to do in this double kill, shoot one of the guards in the head. Aim at the other one, and predict where his head will pop back up after recoiling. Pop him in the head too. It isn't too difficult, it requires a little bit of practice. If you're successful doing two or three double kills in a row, you've got it down. It's not difficult. It only took my friend a couple tries to get it down pat. They recoil in a very predictable and consistent way, until they don't, because what is a Rockstar game without a little bit of glitchy unpredictability? Now that we have that very important skill down pat and practiced, it's time for the actual heist. Nothing like some infield training, am I right? As previously described, your infiltration point will be via the drainage tunnel right into the compound. I'm going to show you a rundown of each section based on Max and I. I'm running Section A, and Max is running Section B. So first, we'll do the rundown of Section A. Skip to this time in the video for Section B. So the first thing you do once you spawn is you turn around and run up these stairs. Continue up the next flight, and here's your first double kill. Kill the two guards at the very end of this hallway. Once you do that, run back to the pool and double kill the two guys on the pool. If you do this successfully, chances are you won't have to reset, but there is a couple more make or break points. Once you've done that, you should notice the Juggernaut coming your way. I like to hug the wall on my left and wait for him to walk out. Run up behind him, run back up the stairs and down the hallway where you double killed your first set of guards. Follow your partner up the stairs, wait for them to kill the guard, and then continue running. Make a right down around this hedge past the panther cages, and hopefully you did this quick enough to either beat the guard down below or arrive at the same time he does. Wait for him to show up and pop him in the head. It's pretty important since he has a weird pattern and there's a camera watching most of his movements. Kill the guard at the bottom of the stairs and run up to El Rubio's office. Once you come up the stairs, the next personal bodyguard will start moving. Wait for him here at this landing. When he comes around the corner, you can either shoot him or smack. That's all you have to really do for Section A. Run up to the office, grab the keep card, open the safe, grab the paintings if there are any, sort out your loot, and begin the harvest. For Section B, the first thing you want to do is go right up the stairs that you face when you start. Pop the guard with the weapon, head back down and up the stairs following Section A. Once Section A clears the guards at the end of the hallway, run up and look through the first hallway on your right. Wait for the Juggernaut to pass by the first line in the courtyard. You'll see it on your map. Shoot the guard in the back of the head. Then to the left, up the stairwell. This next guard is finicky, but you ideally want him facing towards the compound wall out in the open. If he's further back in the hallway, don't shoot him. There's a camera covering him, and it will spot his body if you kill him there. Continue running around the camera to the left of it and turn right. Keep running past Dave and the Panther cages. Shoot the next guard in the back of the head, easy peasy. Stop just in front of the white car and shoot the guard standing out in front of the base of the tower. Once you shoot him, turn around and run up that flight of stairs. Shoot the guard in the back of the head like the soulless mass murderer you are.
You are disgusting because that just ain't right.
Run back down the stairs and through this little gap in the fence. Take an immediate left to your next potential reset point. This is your very last make or break. Just before your make or break, there's a guard down to your right in the courtyard who is arguably the most annoying due to being covered head to toe in the most annoying camera. The best spot to shoot him is either right here, close to the fence, or when he's all the way in the back behind that camera. You can shoot that camera because it's very inconvenient to walk around, but only shoot it after you've killed everybody. I call this a double kill, but it's basically just a collateral headshot with these next two guards. Thankfully, the other guards are far enough away so that if some shots hit the wall, you won't alert anyone. Carefully line up their heads, pop a few shots, and if you're lucky that neither of their heads sway, they'll both drop. Congratulations, you're now in the clear. Run a little more forward and pop the guard in the far left corner. Jump down and run past him down the hallway. Run around and run up these stairs. Popping the second completely harmless guard in the compound. These guys were doing nothing to you. They were facing out and there was no way they could have caught you, but you shot them in the back of the head anyways. Congratulations, you soulless human being. Anything for the mass erasure of those standing in your way to the limitless financial gain at the cost of others, am I right?
Like, that's not right at all.
That's all there is to it. Pick which section you want. Practice, practice makes perfect, and it's a nice little farming session for you and your best friend once you get comfortable. Grab your gold, grab your paintings, and grab your primary. I'd give you a tutorial on the fingerprint scanner, but this video is already taking long enough. Here's a side-by-side of both section A and B completing the heist together.
These men will know every soldier under their command. No disguise will fool them.
Acaba de irse. Hace nada estaba preguntando por usted.
¿Sigue por ahí? Todavía no ha terminado. Seguro viene luego.
Always worth looking in the safe. There will be many locked doors in Mr. Rubio's house. Worth looking for keys, I think. Timing is everything. All together now. Excellent. bonds? You know, it is kind of us to be showing Mr. Rubio the flaws in his security. Again. It looks like they have sealed off the drainage pipe you used to get in here. You will have to find another way out.
Lost a bit. I got a fatty, I lost her, know what I'm saying?
So, you've grabbed your loot, and your bags are bursting at the seams. How does a couple of sly thieves slip out of such a controlled island? Running through all those guards down to the ports seems rather time-consuming and difficult to not be seen. And once you're out and about, El Rubio is going to be overcompensating and personally searching for you in his big old chopper. The best way out is really easy, and it ties into using the Kosatka as your infiltration point. You remember swimming into the compound with those flippers and oxygen tanks? Those aren't just dead weight on you now. We're going to use them. Once you're ready to leave, leave through the front doors. Once you do, you'll see some guards chilling up the road. Kill them. At the main gate, you'll see two guards talking to each other. Section A, double kill them. You're comfortable enough, right? There is a potential to screw this double kill up and cause an alarm, but don't fret, now's not the time to be resetting. We've got an ocean to jump into. This is the best part to screw up if you do screw up at all. Grab the motorcycles laying around. You can either grab the one further back in the first guard that you killed outside, or you can shoot the camera just above you and run around the corner and grab the motorcycle there. Don't leave the outer fence, go back in if you've grabbed the bike outside. Follow the dirt road around because there's a Winky driving that can see you before you can see it. Follow behind it and turn right up into the forest. Now run, run, floor the gas, run for the hills, avoid the trees, and leap into the ocean with all your might. Use your scuba gear to swim to safety, and jumping off from the north point gets you really close to the safety line. It's a big old box around the entire island. Say if you're flying, in a boat, or swimming for your life, if you hit that boundary, you're home free. This boundary just happens to be super close to the north point. Just to keep this quick, since people will jump straight here, your split between you two is up to personal preference and what you deem to be fair. But Max and I personally do 70-30. Whoever hosts gets 70, and then you do the same with the other person hosting. Keep it the same for both players so that you can avoid fighting over who gets how much. Alright, so let's be realistic. People like to throw up potential loot all the time for those big clickbait numbers and titles. But what can you realistically expect from this heist? Well, that's the thing. It depends. How much did you get from the wall safe? How much did you fall and take damage? How much did you get shot? How good was your RNG of picking up your loot? Did I mention that loot has a range of how much it'll give you? What's your primary take? How good was your general loot? Did you get 3 gold? Or did you have to DIY it with paintings? Okay, it's very confusing, so let's just give an example. In this heist shown in this video, Max and I had 4 gold and 2 paintings and bearer bonds. Really, since there was 2 of us, we had 3 gold and bearer bonds with some miscellaneous amount of cash from the wall safe. So we got the best secondary loot that you possibly can with 2 people, and the second highest valued primary. We got this much. Do with that what you will.
Nothing to see here, Capitan. As we say in Russia, you can be accurate or you can shit in your pants. Not both.
Pavel will call you after 10 minutes of completing the heist. You will have 1 in-game day, or 48 real-time minutes, to come by to your Kosatka and buy hard mode. All hard mode will do is give you 100k as a bonus for completing the Master Challenge instead of 50k, and you will be required to do 1 additional fingerprint in the fingerprint scanner puzzle. Your primary target will also be worth 10% more. Hard mode has no other effects on the mission. All it does is give you a bigger bonus, your primary loot is worth 10% more, and all you have to do is 1 more fingerprint. So, here's the mastery/mastermind requirements. You can't quick restart, you have to have full loot bags, and you have to finish the heist in under 15 minutes. The 15 minutes requirement seems really difficult, but using this method, Max and I consistently can do anywhere from 9 to 11 minutes. Okay, so this has been a really serious undertaking for me. I'm currently going on 13 pages in the script. I know that I said this in a couple other videos, but this is by far the most time and effort a video has taken. I said that previously when I was just learning my style. That took me 3 to 4 days to do, and now it takes me just about over a day to do. This has probably taken a good 2 or 3 weeks to make, alongside other videos, gathering clips, footage, Max's point of view, the statistics of all the loot, etc. I didn't know that Cayo Perico had so much math and calculations, especially when you have to explain all of the methodology behind what you do. Now I know I'm probably going to get some comments about not crediting my sources, and someone they know that I don't, that I copied somehow, but I'll explain how Max and I came up with this. Just before I do, the sources that I do quote in this video were people that I gathered footage from. Parsing through my own footage is just a little too time consuming on this computer, especially when it's like 5 seconds that I need out of like 20 hours of footage that I have currently. Basically, we wanted to play Cayo Perico together, but after seeing Ghillie's video saying that Duo is the least profitable, we wanted to prove him wrong. The first thing that we noticed is that when he explained the profitability of soloing, duoing, etc., the groups were all doing the setups together, and they were all doing just one heist together, and they were splitting the takes evenly and then rinsing and repeating. So we tried doing our setups solo to come back together and complete our finales back to back, and we figured out that we were able to solo the setups. This basically made it so that we could effectively solo, but we still didn't have to do all the damn learning that solo requires. Because, funny enough, that's why we didn't want to solo, was because there was so much learning and variation to learn. We picked the Kosatka because it put us directly into the compound, so we didn't even have to learn how to stealth the island itself. We then began to kill enemies from where we started, and we sort of parsed it into what we each do as a team. I hope that's a decent enough explanation. It certainly proves in my eyes that we never copied anyone, and it gives me really solid confidence that it's a unique method to complete the heist. I'm glad that I finally decided to turn it into a video and share it with the internet. It took me way too damn long, but we've been using this for months, so... Okay, so that's everything. If I missed something, let me know, and I'll let you know if I left it out intentionally or not. If you made it this far, then personally I congratulate you. This was grueling for me to make, and I can only imagine the information overload that I have given you. I'm not even going to ask you to subscribe, because if you enjoy my content this much to stick all the way to the end, then I know you're already sticking around with me, and for that, I thank you with the deepest parts of my heart. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed watching this. Seriously.